Hello and welcome everyone to today's special Student Couch episode. My name is Younes and I'm the editor-in-chief of Medium Magazine. And this week I'm very happy to be hosting some of the candidates for the upcoming elections in the Faculty of Humanities and the Central Student Council. For today's episode, I'm very happy to be welcoming Aurora on this 10th episode of the Student Couch. Am I saying your name right?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah,
Aurora.
perfect.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, for the first-time listeners on this show is designed and dedicated to understanding the student's story, perspective, voice, and concerns. For today's episode, it is powered by Hi Radio, the voice of the next generation. And thanks to them, we are able to, of course, welcome our guests this week in a great and professional recording studio. And the Hi Radio team is dedicated to bringing the best audio and radio experience for the African youth. To learn more, check out their website on hiradionl.com. Now, if you haven't yet, get your coffee, get your tea, and join us for the next half an hour with Aurora. How are you doing today?
Very, very good. Excited for this interview. It's so nice to be here. And excited for the elections. We are pretty much very excited for this elections that we're going through, because this year there are a lot of candidates. So let's just say the competition is a little bit tough. Yeah. And we are all doing the best we can to support the student, because after all, that's the point of all of this.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely well said. I mean, thank you so much for coming here today. I know it's kind of difficult with scheduling everything with classes and everything you might have to do, and especially with these, elections coming up. It's not really easy to be scheduling different things. So really, before we really get started about what your plans are as a candidate and things like that, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, maybe where you come from, things like that?
Definitely. I'm from Albania, a small country in the Balkans, but very nice. And I've been living in the Netherlands now for like 1 year and a half. Last year I did actually a foundation program, which is part of Cambridge Group on campus, but the location of it was in the University of Amsterdam. So I got to meet also some older students than me, which was nice to get to know a little bit of the environment going on. And I love music. Actually, I sing. They're traveling, which is very good hobby of mine. And about the elections, it's something, let's just say, not new in a way to me, because during high school I participated in this type of elections that we had for the Senate of the high school. Also last year for the foundation program, I was a student representative. We were like 12 students chosen from different countries, because last year we were kind of 300 students part of this program. And we were from 110 countries for sure participating, so very diverse, let's say, community, which I got to the idea of continuing this spirit of mind about representing the students.
Wow, that's great. So your passion for sort of running for elections started way long ago.
Yeah, let's just say, and the desire to help actually more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a kind of person who always wants to come to help to people, try to solve problems in a way. Maybe not all the decisions are the best ones, but in the decision solving process, I might say I'm very good at it.
Okay, that's great. And of course, I sort of share a similar feeling. I like to try to help people as much as I can. And obviously we do our best, or you do your best, and then, well, if stuff goes bad, well, then stuff goes bad. Yeah, you the best you can do is just really learn from your mistakes. But so you're a candidate for which party exactly?
For UvA Social.
UvA Social. Okay, that's great. And then how did you choose that party? Is it just like a random pick that you had?
No, of course not. Actually, there are few parties running for the Faculty of Economics and Business Economics, because I study for Econometrics, first year student. Okay. And also for the Central student one. The idea of choosing UvA Social was because I saw their program, their 4 pillars that they have in their program as a party. Those 4 pillars which they have, like quality of education, sustainability, accessibility, and diversity were the one that attracted me, especially the diversity one, which made me choose that party over the others, of course.
Yeah.
They are very, very innovative people there with their ideas, very compact,
Yeah.
with the desire to help a lot of the students.
Yeah.
They are very in with the issues going on around the UvA, which is a very good thing. So they are aware of everything what's going on inside the university. They tend to do also with the communities that they have inside the party, with Action One, PR, which they do a lot of work, a lot there.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm like very, very happy to be chosen by them, because of course you got to go through some processes, some interviews and stuff. Actually, in the beginning, I was part of the action committee of UvA Social.
Okay.
So that's how I got into the party.
Yeah.
In the beginning, with the intention to go for the elections.
Yeah.
And after all, after some thinking, and because actually from Econometrics students, not a lot of representatives we have in the councils, which made me think, why should I not do this for my fellow students, for my program?
Yeah.
And I thought to come to their help, because we have had some issues going on through the year, especially with the corona going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything, it's not very, let's just say, efficient and very well going on, but so that was like the one that made me choose to go for it.
Okay, that's great. And so when you are, so you spoke about basically UvA Social, and one of the reasons why you mostly wanted to be part of it is because of their main pillars, right? And so one of these pillars that you described is diversity.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about diversity, what do you mean exactly? How is that a main important pillar for you and for your party? Because do you see really a big need for improving the diversity aspect? Or what do you see sort of happening around diversity?
Well, diversity, it's like a very broad word. So, I mean, it sounds like diversity is only about the different countries that come from, the traditions, the aspects. So there are, it's like a very broad word, and for me, it's like the most important part of this word. It's the opinions of the students, of different ones. So diverse opinions for diverse topics, being free to say what they think, being free to choose who they want to be. So I think around the UvA, this thing can be approved. I'm not saying it's not there. It is, but definitely it can be some things done to that, because there are some, let's just say, mediocre or let's say stereotypes things still going on.
Yeah, like what?
Like, for example, coming from, I don't know, a country from the Eastern Europe, probably you don't have the knowledges that you are supposed to know for the Western one, or some barriers of the cultures, which I think can be improved, because UvA tend to be known around the Netherlands for its international environment. But I think it is. I'm not saying it's not, but there can be more. When you are inside of it, you understand that maybe it's not as much as you would see it from the outside.
Yeah, so are you talking more about sort of diversity as in having as many people join the table? Or are you talking about inclusivity of having the same right to dance?
Well, both of them, actually.
Okay.
Kind of both of them. Because as many people joining from different, let's just say, opinions from different cultures and different, I don't know, backgrounds, they tend to represent all the notions, I don't know, of the human thinking, and tend to create a better one, a better idea at the end. But also the other thing of where all the students, let's just say, are free to be who they want to be at, let's just say, in a way, because not to choose one way as it should be. So there's not one way correct. You can be who you think your right way to choose from.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Sorry, just if I can remind you to just get your mic a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a little better, Great. So, okay, so now we spoke sort of about your journey as in getting involved with UvA Social. Now, why specifically UvA Social? Were the other parties sort of not aligned directly with what you were thinking, or was it more like in terms of opportunities that you were seeking, and then it was just more aligned?
Well, as I said, the other parties have different pillars in their in their party, like in the formation of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, probably from four of them, maybe I found myself in two of them or three of them. But at the UvA Social, I mean, four of them were the one that attracted me because
Mm-hmm.
it's important to see yourself in the party.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, it's not only about to go for the elections. So, but we, like me and also the other candidates of UvA Social, represent the party and what they stand for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, choosing UvA Social in particular was the four pillars that they have, and also because when I got to know also from the inside, so as first I became part of the action committee,
Mm-hmm.
as I got to know the people around, how much work they put into everything, like the issues, they tend to work together all the time with weekly meetings, and try to give a solution, and that's the most important one for me.
Yeah.
To the issues that are that goes on. After that, I said that with this party, I want to continue the elections.
Definitely. Are they, just out of curiosity, are they the oldest party at UvA? Or one of the oldest, at least in...
They're from, if I'm not wrong, from 2015.
Wow, okay.
So I'm not sure if they're the oldest, but
Yeah.
from 2015, I would say one of the oldest.
Okay, that's great. And so really, at least from my understanding of student elections, what I find is that it's sort of important for a candidate to be able to recognize really the need for students,
Yeah.
right? And so, what is it that you recognize as the need for students, not only within your faculty but also outside? Do you see anything in particular that you think is definitely worth working on?
Yeah, for me personally, one of the main important issue was the financial part, which UvA tends to give like scholarships only at the beginning of the year, so before starting the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I hope this is one of my let's just say my ideas for putting into the council if I'm gonna get elected.
So talking about money.
Yeah, money, but not financial part.
Yeah.
To create like a program to give scholarships per year. For example, to give a per year scholarship. If you cannot get it the first year, maybe just you can get it the second one for 1 year or the 2 years. Of course, under some restrictions like GPA, maybe some courses that needs to be done in order to get the scholarships. But it's a very good opportunity for students who maybe during the way of the first year tend to understand that they cannot afford the second year or the third one. This is first one. And also, there is a big difference regarding the tuition fees for the European countries and the non-European countries.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very big gap.
Huge, yeah.
Of course, there are some reasons for that, like the taxes that you pay as a foreigner for being in the Netherlands. But I think there can be some improvements in that aspect. The second one is like the mental well-being of the students.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of issues have been going on actually with mental health, especially these few years with Corona crisis happening. We also this year heard about maybe there are many cases which maybe I'm not aware, but I particularly know about the case of a student killing himself in one of the dorms, which pretty actually even without knowing the person, may he rest in peace, devastated me. Because I feel like I got, in a way, mad of UvA letting this happen. Of course, students tend to get stressed not only for the exams or the courses, because there are other stuff that surrounds you that make you feel stressed or unheard. But definitely, UvA can do something about this. the psychologist, let's say, schedules or the are not well suited, or let's just say are not enough. So there are very limited spots to get like a meeting with the psychologist.
Yeah.
I hope this is one of also my second big idea, I would say.
Yeah. So
create a program, mental health program, which includes the students of the psychology courses or social behavioral one, where students can first maybe approach them, express their concerns, their issues, what's going on with them, because the students tend to express themselves more easy, more maybe better into when they know that there is a student in front of you. So it has two positive sides, helping the students that are going through something and also helping the students of this program, because it's maybe like a training for them also, because they tend to put into action what they're learning into their bachelor program, but also coming into the needs of their friends. And of course, if they see that the problem is maybe bigger than they can handle, or maybe that they know or they have knowledge of, of course, this is when the psychologist can come into more help. Because different countries have some stereotypes about psychologists. Maybe this is kind of strange to hear the people, but me, from the countries that maybe I'm surrounded, sometimes when you say that I'm going to go to a psychologist, they say that, oh, he or she's crazy. That's what she's going.
It's like there's a stigma around it. Yeah.
Maybe in the Netherlands, this is not something that, of course, they think of. Of course, you go to psychologists for any type of issues that you might be going through. But in other countries, which I think the Netherlands think it's weird or like super strange, it is actually stereotype. And being brought up in the places, because we come here when we start the university. But we have been living in our countries for 18 years, 19 something. So, it's kind of difficult to change those things pretty fast with the culture. So you need sometimes to adjust yourself with the culture of the Dutch people. Yeah. So it's very helpful for them to know that they are going into some friends to talk about it. And then maybe also the students can convince them that it is the best solution to go to a psychologist. And to add this, as I said, these spots for the psychologists more. And as I said, this program of the students should also be aligned with the central student council and with the faculty ones. And I think it is very necessary for them to meet like weekly and give like reports how the situation is going on with the students. Is this, let's just say, mental health being problem because of UvA, like maybe the exams or the courses or lecturers, or I don't know, the tutorials organization on some, or maybe some sex assaults that is going on around. Or is it something that only the student has because of maybe family problems, or there are different reasons, but it's good to know if the main problem comes from the UvA. So, of course, this everything should be like confidential information, anonymous, where students maybe can write their problem first, and if they feel like they're pretty confident to talk face to face with no name and surname to the students, then would be even better, because you see that those are like deleting their barriers or like crashing their walls.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. So at least in terms of your sort of what you're running for and what you're promising so far, you've mentioned talking a little bit about tuition prices and the financial matters of studying at the UvA. And at least for me, on a personal note, being a non-European student, it's like the prices are very confusing. It's like first I was paying around something around like 9,000, 9,800.
8,000 something.
Yeah, and then suddenly I hear in the news that there's 50% off, and I was like, I didn't know that. So I go ahead and I announce that to my parents. My parents are very happy.
Yeah, I did the same. same, actually.
Yeah, and then 4 months later, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, so I won't be able to do that.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
it's not
know.
50%.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened to me too. I heard around the group chat of my Econometrics group, they were writing that 50% off, yay, discount, something, retest at this and that. I was like, yeah, go retest, yay, viva la vida Netherlands. But then, after 1 month later, when I discussed it with my friend who's also from Albania, she said, no, that's not for us.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, and that's the thing that was just like confusing. So I mean, I'm not too sure if it's maybe our incomprehension of the messages that were being sent, but at least the big majority of people probably understood it the same way we did.
Yeah.
And so that could be a problem in terms of communication.
For all, even for the other, for all the students actually, not only for us.
Exactly.
I heard it from a lot of people who had thought the same. And also there is a confusion still going on the website. So the information is still not well done, like managed in the website.
Yeah.
Still there is a confusion for, I mean, this is for the European countries, about the discounts that they are having. Because first they paid the full one, and then the second semester they were 50, and then the next one is going to be again, I think, half. So they're also for the European country, they are not still sure what's going on. So they hear the stuff from the Prime Minister, but UvA is still not well informing them.
Yeah.
So also for them it's still a confusion. So I think, yeah, this is also a problem.
Yeah.
That needs to be kind of fixed. Not kind of, but definitely.
No, I definitely agree. And I mean, especially in terms of getting back to what you said as well, when you spoke about scholarships, it seems like I think I've seen before on the website, and I mean, of course, Google could check me on this, but I've seen that they do offer scholarships. They do offer different types of scholarships, although the detail is just like, I have no idea.
Vague. Even if you go to Study in Holland website and you write the countries where you're from, for example, and see what options are there for you, it's like very vague. And when it says there University of Amsterdam, when you click on it, you don't see it anymore. Suddenly it disappeared. I know a friend of mine who talked with the not study advisor, forgot the name.
The education desk.
No, they only handle the issues with the financial part for the students.
Oh, I try to stay away from those people.
So she talked with them and said that for the second year of the my program, is there any type of scholarship that I can go or, I don't know, apply and stuff, or even for the government, maybe something that they can do. And not surprisingly said, no, there's not anything about the non-European countries, sadly, but only for the European ones, something that they get is a loan or something, which is not. But from our country at least, no, there isn't definitely no answer. So the only way is to get it from our own country.
Yeah, get a scholarship from the,
but which definitely it's kind of difficult if you already started the
studies,
Now you're in second year, and they would say that we maybe could have given to you for the first year and then kept it for the whole years of your university, but starting it from the second one, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, at least when it comes to these financial matters, it's like, it's very difficult, I can imagine, at least for the university to not only make it affordable to people who live in this country, who are residents and home, this is their home, compared to sort of visitors like us. And I'm sure just managing all of that is kind of very difficult for them. So I really definitely wish you the best of luck with that plan. But sort of moving on to your second plan regarding mental health at UvA. So I've spoken to a few people about the current situation. Some problems that they have brought up are things like it takes too much time to actually be able to get an appointment with a student psychologist. Like I have a friend who tried to get an appointment. It took her 3 weeks just to be able to be scheduled. And so I mean, if you are going through some type of mental distress,
waiting for 3 weeks.
Exactly, waiting for 3 weeks. I mean, I'm not too sure if everyone can do that. And then also, what I also feel like after speaking to a few people is that when it comes to mental health, I think at universities, I think the general approach people have towards trying to solve these issues about mental health is more towards trying to provide these resources, right? But then I feel like also the university at the same time does not really get into the core problem being, as you briefly mentioned as well, the core problem being basically like not having the right resources for students, or giving them an assignment that is big, and that is big part of their grade, with very little descriptions of what actually needs to be done.
60%, but you don't know
Exactly.
well enough what to do.
Yeah, and it's like you get a prompt, and the prompt is like write a 3,000-page essay or whatever it is. And I mean, of course, these things are university, and it is supposed to be challenging us, but it's just about the little things that are sort of anxiety-inducing that I feel like are important. Yeah, and it's like this.
Big difference, actually.
Exactly, and it's like 1% here, 1% there, 1% there. Eventually, it gives you 3%, or whatever, like a big portion that is affected in people. And so, do you think your solution, or what you're offering, sort of for students, for psychology students, to be serving as these psychologists? Do you not think that maybe they don't have the right experience for that, or do you see that more sort of differently, and you don't think experience is that important?
Well, as I said, of course, it would be very nice for the third year one students to participate more into this kind of program, because definitely first year and second year maybe it will be also hard for them to manage, probably. But the third year students, I think they will be quite capable of doing this. As I said, sometimes the students need just to talk for different issues. As I said, for the sex assault matters, which maybe are very hard to go to the psychologist directly. And it's not strange to think that. Also, for example, maybe the stress they are going through the exam, sometimes they just need a confrontation.
Exactly.
Just to talk it out. Especially with the corona thing, it's hard even to, because not all the students live with roommates and stuff. Some of them live alone. Which is very, very hard to, surrounded by four walls, talking with a wall at a point. So I think the students will come to help first as to express themselves, and maybe to even orientate the students on maybe how the psychologists can help them. And then, as I said, when they see that it's not anymore in their hands, or they are not very capable to handle the situation, the psychologist definitely is the one that should come to help. And directly at the time when needed, not after 4 months or 5 months. That's the problem around the UvA. Like, even for, not even the psychologists actually, but definitely the psychologist thing is mostly the one that's more important for us. But even if you would leave appointment with a study advisor, or for example with a career coach or something, or even with I don't know, because I've been doing these appointments with them. I've waited 2 or 3 weeks. So it's something usual, I think, at UvA to wait 3 weeks, and they make it sound like it's normal. That's the problem, but it's not. And if they will hear us, they will understand that it's definitely not normal to wait 2 or 3 weeks for a solution to be solved. Sometimes even when you contact the central student desk or something, it takes a lot of time to respond. The problem with the exam, don't even get me started, with the exam support and stuff, which I think maybe it's not the first one. One of the most stressful thing around the UvA was the proctoria thing going on.
Definitely.
The proctoria now it's going to court, so I don't think it's something to be brought up anymore by the candidates.
Is it going to court just in the Netherlands, or? For
the UvA it is. It's in court now. Deciding. So maybe it's not anymore in our hands to say that. I will maybe to say as a promise that proctoria will be gone. You cannot do anything about it. It's the court who decides that. Sometimes you will enter the exam, the proctoria might fail, you log out, you need a password, it's not working, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And the sad thing is, for example, I know for the business administrations that some students have not been able to do the exam because of proctoria problem. Even I in Econometrics, we didn't do one the exam only because of proctorio. And there is a problem scheduling stuff later on. Because, you have the idea that, oh, I'm going to finish the exam today. It's over. Yay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start the new subjects. And then you cannot do the exam because of some strange things going on with the proctorio. And then you have to learn again. Because definitely, if 2-3 weeks, if the exam is scheduled after 2-3 weeks,
yeah.
the actual one, of course you have forgot something. So you need to revise and read, which is it's wasting time, a lot of time. And for BA, this has happened a lot, actually. Even in econometrics happened, and I'm sure even in economics and business economics should have happened, this problem.
At least for communication science and communication science students, we didn't really use proctorio that much, at least from my experience. But what we did have was like a bunch of problems with Zoom. I've personally had like internet connection problems, and like my computer completely froze during an exam, and I wasn't given extra time. And then had to take a resit and then failed that exam. And so for me, at least from my understanding of the situation, what I come to is that it's not necessarily about the tools that are being used, even though proctorio does have its questionable sort of like ethical code or use or whatever it is. But yeah, even when it comes to like Zoom and things like that, it's like, first of all, are the exams without them being online are very anxiety inducing and very stressful. Then second of all, you then take those and put them online, and then the sort of margin of error or the possibility of things that could go wrong is so huge that sometimes students are even more worried about those things than worried about their actual assignment or whatever it is.
I worry more about the proctorio and if the internet will go well all through the exam. Because if the internet connection disconnect for 2 or 3 seconds, then it's called cheating and stuff. So gone.
Exactly.
Which is very, very, very
or you
students stress. And the thing is that also when they reschedule the stuff, they don't even ask the students. So it would be very, very good to do they do surveys for all kind of stupid sometimes stuff that you don't even care. But they don't do a survey for the students to choose the date they think of to do the exam after scheduling. They just say, hey, it's going to be here. Okay, I understand for the other courses, for example, that are predetermined, but if an exam goes wrong and it's rescheduled, you cannot choose it in a day 6 till 8 or something. Choose it.
You could have an assignment on the side, you could have a job, an internship, or
So they don't even ask okay, we are sorry about I don't know that went wrong the exam, but we will see the majority of people when are available to do it again. Of course, if the majority chooses a date and maybe it's not still inconvenient for you, okay, we're sorry, but still, you had the right to speak. So you had the right to say something about it. So that's one thing that I think it's very an organized way of UvA managing this type of exams situation. They also did a new policy about not going back and forth with the multiple choices questions because of the cheatings. So which was kind of also stressful, especially for... Personally, I tend to go back and forth to the question 100 times to check them, to see them. Maybe I'm not sure about one question, so I just leave it blank and then go to it afterwards. But with the new way they did, you cannot go back because you do a couple. They are divided into groups, 4 maybe questions per group with sections. And you cannot go back and forth with the sections.
For our exams, it's you can't even go back for one question. It's not even a section.
That's even worse, because how would you know to manage the time?
Yeah.
You don't know how things are divided. For example, you might have a topic that you are very scared of, that you feel not confident enough, which you need more time to think.
Yeah.
It's in the first part, and then if you stay too much in the first part, you lose the chances of the other questions.
Exactly. I feel like it's much more of a hindrance than it is anything like that for students. Really, it's just it's not helpful.
Yeah.
It's not helping me take the exam. It's not helping me pass it. It's not helping me throughout that experience. It's only really just impeding the difficulty into getting it or making it in that exam. And then especially as well, I don't know if you've heard about the correction of chance.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about the correction of chance?
Yeah, I've heard it from my friends because in Econometrics we do not have that.
Okay.
But it sounds very weird and strange.
Oh yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense actually. Like I think there is like 10 questions, for example, and if you do 2 or 3, I don't know, are automatically wrong or something.
Yeah, so the correction of chance is pretty much, so it's this formula where you plug in the amount of questions there is in an exam, and then the amount of and then basically what that formula does is that based on the amount of questions you have correct, it's able to tell the percent of likelihood that you might have guessed. And it's like
the guess one,
it's like, first of all, I review for my tests. I don't just take a test, so why would I even need...
Guess.
Yeah, why would I guess? If I guess, it means I don't know something, and I don't need to be like...
It's your right to guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to hear anyone in this world saying, I know everything.
Exactly, and if you do, you're wrong.
Learning is a process that, borns with you and dies with you.
Yeah.
All the way. You don't only learn, the courses and stuff. You only learn for life. So basically guessing, it's part of this learning.
Exactly.
Which, it's very, I heard this and I was like, does this make sense to hear? Me as a student, I would say this is the strangest implication to do for the exam. So.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes it's fine if you have a test with a lot of questions or something like that. But oftentimes the tests are like 30 questions, 30 multiple choice questions, and the rest is like open-ended. And then when you end up with like 30 open-ended questions, it's like your maximum grade, if you get everything correct, is a 27.
Yeah,
so you can't get a 9. Or you can probably just get a straight 9.
I think what they say is like the 8.5 and 9 are excellent. Like 8 is for very excellent students.
Yeah.
9 is like for the teachers and stuff, and 10 is for the God.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard as well. And it's, for me, at least coming from an American school background, the American system is completely inversed. So it's not in that way. Like an A, any student can manage to get an A. You just need to be doing good, right? And so going from a time...
regular students, reading...
Exactly. Like if you're a good student, you'll get an A, you'll get a 90, whatever.
10 here seems like a dream.
I've never seen a 10 on a paper. It's simple as that. And if I do, it's like, wow, this person is like low-key a genius.
Must be Einstein.
Yeah.
Because at least I would say 10 is something that even if you do actually the question right, you still will lose a point for the motivation thing. Yeah. Which what should I more motivate?
Or like referencing, or like creativity, or something like that. Yeah.
Losing something. But.
Yeah, definitely. Now, just to sort of like wrap up today's episode a little, is there any points we haven't mentioned that are on your policy points and that you would like to talk about?
Well, these are two of the main ones that I intend to implement.
Yeah.
The third one is the part of the exams, as I said, that the students, when they're on scheduling, to make the students' opinion heard, or maybe choose to have like their right to maybe add their availability. And you go through a course, you tend to get a lot of things. So a lot of things in your hands, and when you go to the exam, like they don't really match. Yeah. Which means this is what I mean with the efficiency in education. Efficiency, because as I said, you are learning since when you are born till the end. You are always learning, and university is just a part of it. Little part of it. I mean, it's not a very long period. It's not short either, but still, it doesn't say who you are or doesn't define you. What you're going to do with life. A lot of people have done done a bachelor program for something, ended up doing something else. But at least the time that you are spending on it, you should get something out of it which must be efficient and not something useless at the end. And I think exams are a very good, let's just say, way to test yourself for the course, but sometimes they do not match with what is expected for you. So, for example, it's not really known for the students, and they tend to get confused with the course, and they're not clear. So, what they want from me with this thing.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, this can be improved. Actually, by the help, of course, with the in coordination with the tutorials and lectures, to maybe give more hints or more direction or more, let's just say, background into the course inside, to say what is needed and maybe something that it's not necessary until that point, that can be done later on. Like, this can be approved because it also have helped the students to maybe have also some, maybe it's weird, but you can also have fun doing the course because you enjoy it.
For sure.
And it's not like weird to say, because you, for example, I do programming, sometimes I find it stressful, sometimes I find it fun. So why not to have it always
be fun? Exactly.
So I think that the students are now being like robots in a way, just learning. Like UvA now, it's only an educational institution in its true meaning. You just learn, you just do exams, you just stress. Students are not having fun. In a way that they are not enjoying the time, actually. And time is moving. 2 years now are passing without even knowing and understanding it. But at the end of this bachelor program, what will you remember of it? What will you like? The point is to finish this experience and maybe cry a little bit because of the happiness that you
but not out of the pain.
Exactly. Not of the pain one. Like tears of joy. And university is like a very key moment for us in our lives, and it is the most important thing that maybe to help us open as many doors as possible with that key. And that's what I intend to do with students, to help them open as many opportunities, either with their careers or either in their knowledge of the education, which I hope to do that. I'm a person who always does the best to help people. I tend to always, as I said, to solve things in the true being realistic during this decision solving problem, because you don't need to give hopes to people for something that after all maybe it's not going to happen. But of course, being realistic all the way is the best thing that of course, as let's just say, can help to develop as a personality.
Definitely. I definitely agree with all of that. And I mean, just to sort of relate back to what you were saying earlier, in terms of the examination specifically, it's like you can't really judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. I mean, that's a famous saying, of course, but I really feel like that's what our current exams are. It's like first they give you some material, and then what you're given is basically you're just given like this exam that seems related to what you were studying. You can recognize certain words, but a lot of the sort of phrasing and everything that they have on there, it's not that clear. And then I also felt like, at least on some exams that I've taken, it felt like the questions and the answer options were actually like translated from Dutch while taking an English exam. So I'm not too sure maybe if the person actually used like Google Translate making the exam, or something else, or if like just the way that the professor is thinking is probably in Dutch and then translating in that way. So I just think that small maybe language barrier as well, a little bit, could have an impact on it just slightly improving the exams.
Because for example, some faculties at UvA are like mostly Dutch focused in a way. And I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the economics one is the one who tends to have the highest percentage probably of the international students, even communications students.
The economics program?
No, like economics and business faculty.
Oh, okay.
Has a lot of international students. Also, I think communications, science and media has a lot of, and some others don't, which leaves maybe some international or diversity, as I said in the beginning, some parts not probably correlated too much.
Yeah.
So definitely, I've also had like an exam where the phrasing of the question and stuff, it's not understandable.
Exactly.
And this is something that even not me, but all we have been pointing it out. And yeah, it's sad because well, we don't know the language. We would love to learn it, but for now that the program is in English, so tend to make it as much understandable as you can.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, just to sort of once again, like wrap up this conversation. So you are running for UvA Social from that party, and you are running for the CSR.
And also faculty council.
Okay, and the faculty.
And for economics and business economics.
Wonderful. And so can people probably learn more about what you're running for on the UvA Social Instagram page, right?
Yeah, of course, even online. So they can contact me to be free to ask about my points of view, my candidacy, maybe even for the voting, because sometimes it's not very clear for the students that voting is going on, which I think it should be. And this is a very good opportunity for us as candidates that we are doing this podcasting to give us the opportunity to express ourselves. Because as I said in the beginning, we're doing this for ourselves, in a way. I say students, because when I say students, I mean friends, technically, because we are here to help each other, because we want to improve stuff that can be improved and to make the life easier and the better.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
Definitely, and I mean, yeah. Thank you so much for coming here today. Thank you for telling us all about basically what you're running for, your values, the party that you're running for as well, and really showing people why it's important to vote. Now, before we say goodbye to everyone listening, I would just like to, of course, thank Aurora for being with us and telling us about everything she's been doing. I would also, of course, like to thank the Medium team for helping us promote this episode, and really everyone else involved in making this happen. Just to remind you that this episode is powered by Hi Radio, the voice of the next generation. Thanks to them, we are able to welcome our guests this week in a great and professional studio. The Hi Radio team is dedicated to bringing the best audio and radio experience for the African youth. To learn more, check out their website on hiradionl.com. Now, of course, you can join us for another episode with another student couch with another student guest. Once again, be sure to send us your suggestions for future topics and guests that you would like to see on the next student couch. This show is brought to you by Media Magazine, the fully student-led magazine of communication science. To learn more, check out our latest articles. You can visit our website on www.mediamagazine.nl. To join our team, be sure to check out our open positions on our latest posts or on our website, of course. My name is Younes. This was the Student Couch, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.